today I'm going to show you something I bet you've never seen before. And we're not going to have to go outside to do the hummingbirds for that, which I have hundreds and thousands of hummingbirds here today. But a craft project that may be interesting to you, because boy, I found it interesting to me. So let's get right into what is hanging on my window. So you know I love looking out the window and watching the hummingbirds. And I wanted to put some plants there that it didn't have to do too much work with. So I bought these air plants on Walmart. Now I know you can buy them from a lot of different stores, but the point was they were only like $2 a piece. And when I went to the store, they wanted a lot of money, and then there's a whole setup. So going through Gary's garden, as you know, he grows purple passion fruit. He finds them on the ground, he picks them off his vines, and I found them a very interesting plant. Now, keep in mind, we have hundreds and thousands of these fruits, but you're only going to eat the inside, and he brings them in by the buckets, 5-gallon buckets. And then I noticed when he had them in the house, strange things were happening to him. That's them when they're green, and you never eat them when they're green. You want to eat them when they're falling off or already fell off, when they're brown. And I guess they have a purple haze to them. And when he had them sitting around after he spooned out everything, within a couple days, they became as hard as a rock. Now that's something you don't really see. Even on other fruits, like dragon fruit, it doesn't get that hard, but look at them. And I thought, I can do something with that. You know me. This is probably one of the most odd projects you've ever seen. These are purple passion fruits. Now, you know Gary grows hundreds of them, and he loves them. He eats them. He freezes them. He drinks them. He does all kinds of stuff with them. Well, guess what? I found out I can do a lot with it, too. Here I am taking off the nub, you know, where it was growing from the plant or the flower part, and we're going to cut it. Now, you can cut it any way you want, and you can cut it in half or just cut off the top. Now here I'm going to cut off the top. Now inside is that beautiful pulp that everybody wants from this passion fruit. Spoon that out. Now I will suggest wash them before you start the project so everything is nice and clean. Even though they're always clean when you get them, just wash them anyways with water. Now you just take a regular old teaspoon and spoon everything out, because the inside is gold to a lot of people. And these little fruits are really expensive when you can find them at the store. Usually you're buying them in the frozen section. So you're buying the pulp that's already taken out, removed, and frozen. And here I'm using a little tiny spoon that I picked up at Dollar Tree. And I plant a lot of seeds with this little spoon. It's actually something to do with nails, and that's fingernails, but for nail polish. But anyways, I use it for different things for the garden. See how nice and clean it is inside? It all comes out really easy. Look at that. Now I'm setting that aside, and I'm going to make sure my pulp stays nice and clean so we can eat it, drink it, whatever way we want to do it. I'm going to do another one here and take a little more of the top off, and I'm going to do the same thing with a whole bunch of them. I'm just taking the pulp out because you want to use it. You know, these can cost anywhere from $3 to $5 a piece in the store, so you don't want to waste it. And here I'm making holes in the soft shell. Now here I'm going to take a bread tie, and I want to string it up. I made holes in there when it was still soft. When you first cut it open, make your holes and then put your bread tie in. That's all you have to do right there. And now you can attach this anywhere. And you're thinking, why would I do that? You'll see why. Here's another one. Same thing. I take a little tiny scissors. You can take a knife, a nail, anything you want, and just push it through. See how soft the skin is right now? So all you're doing is making holes, and you're putting your bread ties, your wire. I used a piece of wire there. And look at that. Inside there, I put a little plastic cup, like what I feed the hummingbirds. You don't have to do that. That may be for a different project. Hear that? Believe it or not, within about 2 days, the skin is as hard as a rock. And I thought, wow, I have ideas with that. So what I did was I got this cute little sign, I guess you could say, from Dollar Tree in the spring, and it had a hummingbird on it. And I thought, I know what I'm going to do with that. So I took the passion fruit shells, fruit skin, whatever you want to call it, and it doesn't work with other fruits because they don't get hard. And I went ahead and I made a whole bunch of them, cleaned them out, getting ready to hang on this sign. Stay with me because this is absolutely adorable. And now if you don't have a sign, you can use a branch from a tree. You can use a big sheet of wire, 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch wire. You could use anything you want to do the same thing that I'm going to do here, but I bought this and I figured this is really going to work good. And you'll understand as we go along how you can do it with different things for different projects. But I'm using this sign. Now I'm just putting the shells on, see, the skin with the wire, and I'm going to twist it on with the bread ties. It's that simple. Just turn it over and twist it on. You could use, even if you have a statue, but a really beautiful branch off a tree would be really nice to decor with the passion fruit shells or skin from the fruit. It would look really nice. That's my next project. But since I had this is what I decided to use. And it was already hanging in the kitchen. So I thought I'm going to decorate it because I have something I can use the passion fruit shells for. And I think it's going to be fantastic. So on this sign, I went ahead and I put a few, and then I think I added a few more afterwards. I couldn't decide how many. Just work slowly. You know, do your project, and as you go, you can change things up. So even though you may make the design in your head how you want to do it, you can always change things, especially when you're doing it yourself and nobody's doing it for you. So isn't this cute? Can you imagine that each shell will be a planter, a cup, hard? I mean, this is just crazy. So I decided I can put 2 more on this because I have so many of these plants that I'm going to put in there. And it's going to look really cute in the kitchen. It will keep my plants up and where I can see them. And I don't have to just have them sitting on the windowsill. And I'll be able to really enjoy them. And I'm finding the right place to place each shell from this purple passion fruit. Look at that. You will need 1 fruit per little flower pot. And there it is. They're as hard as a rock in a few days. Let them set before you do anything so they get really hard. And that's all you have to do with them. And then I put my air plants in. I bought those air plants over a year ago on Walmart, and they're just gorgeous. Some of them are already doubling up, and I'm going to have more plants because they're producing new plants. But is that not cute? It can sit there, and it's got the cutest little stand. You don't need any soil with air plants. And, well, I'm just crazy about it. And you can always use eggshells if you want, but those don't break. You know, eggshells crack. And how do I know? I've cracked a few eggshells, but not the passion fruit. So there it is. Can you believe how beautiful these look? Now, as I had said, you could use the eggs. They do break, they drop. But these, if you drop them, they don't break. And I've taken some and built a stand with them. So see how it's glued? I used hot glue and put it together. Now I can have my air plant inside, and it could be on a stand instead of using like little food container caps. And then I make a hole. I have a technique of making these for my eggs, just eggshells. And then I decoupage them. See, there's another air plant. This has been beautiful. It's natural. All I have to do is lift out my plant. I can soak it, spray it, whatever I need to do, put it back, and there it's going to hang in my window. So beautiful for me to enjoy. And the hummingbirds too. So I hope you enjoyed this fun craft project. And if you are lucky enough to have some purple passion fruit around, now you know what you can do with the shells, the outside. You can make little tiny cups and then use your imagination on what you can use it for. Because I'm sure you can think of so many things to do with these beautiful cups from nature. With that, have a wonderful day. Don't forget to eat what you grow and then use it for a project later. Bye-bye. He doesn't even care that I'm here. Isn't that something? And for that plastic cup that I put in there, the ramekin, that's holding a little dot for the hummingbirds, which I can attach those passion fruit cups anywhere for the hummingbirds.